We're pitside at the Holland NASCAR Motorsports Complex with veteran driver Mike Ticco in the late model number 65. Mike, you've been at this for a while, to put it diplomatically, and in general terms, you've seen a lot change in racing in your time in it. What has changed for the better? What has changed for the worse, in your opinion?
Well, the technology that we have today that we didn't have even 10 years ago, but 20, 30 years ago when I first started, is amazing. I mean, you have to basically do your homework and be able to buy the parts. It makes things a lot easier, believe it or not. It can be a little expensive, but compared to what all the work we used to do, now you can buy it. I guess the negative, or not negatives, but the downside of all this is the car counts, which, you know, when I started racing, we had sometimes 50, 60 cars in the pits for one division. And you had to qualify every night. Full fields, and it was fun. I mean, it was a great way to grow up and learn how to race. But now we got half that, you know, and especially in the premier divisions. The lower divisions, they seem to get the cars because it's cheaper. And it's taken a little fun out of it. You know, I love driving in traffic, and I love passing cars, and of course I love to win. But it takes a little bit of the fun out of it. You know, the traffic makes drama, and it can definitely affect the outcome of a race, a points championship, and it puts on obviously more cars put on a better show for the fans, and that's who I feel the worst for, because, you know, they're up there paying their good money to watch us, and a lot of the newer fans, they don't know what they've missed in weekly short track racing when there was full fields in every division. And I hope that can come back someday. I'd like to be still racing when that does come back, but we're building towards it.
Now, this late model of tomorrow division was designed to be a cost-effective late model division with certain rules to restrict how much you can do. And a lot of people have opinions about taking the innovative part away from racing. And there's got to be a balance there someplace between innovation and cost savings.
Well, the cost is the key word here. And motors and shocks, we took that out of the equation. We run a standard $100 shock. You can't touch it. It's a steel-bodied shock at 50-50 action. The technology in the shocks today is incredible, and the cost goes with it. And the average guy has to pay for that. Not everybody has a shock dyno or can build shocks or adjust shocks, and it separates a lot in the field. The motors have gotten out of hand. $15,000 motors are the norm, and with a built motor. The crate motors, some of them, guys are spending a lot of money on them too. We're running a lower performance crate motor that's sealed from delivery, or purchase, I should say, at delivery, and hopefully everything's okay there. Nobody's tampering with them, but we do reserve the right to take the motor and check it out, and hopefully that's kept things on an even keel. The tires, we've gone to a Goodyear tire, as well as the rest of the track has now gone to the same Goodyear, and there's not a big advantage to putting new tires on every night. So that's taken the cost, cut the costs down. As far as the innovative part, now you got to do your homework and work on your chassis and make the chassis work with the restricted motor and shock package and the harder tire compound. And it's a challenge. It's taken a guy, some guys a couple of years to figure it out.
So it's just innovation in a different way.
Yes, and if you do your homework, I mean, it's all shop work, and it's testing, in warm-ups and stuff, trying different setups and that. So a crew that's sharp, a driver that can adjust the car to the conditions and make it faster with what they're using, they're gonna get ahead without spending a lot of money. I mean, you're gonna obviously add some components here and there, but it's not like putting a big motor in, or going out and spending $1,000 for a shock.
You know, so a lot of people say racing is their version of golf, but at the same time, if you're not watching your pocketbook, it could be an expensive version of golf.
Absolutely, and it's costly enough as it is, and hopefully we've tried to level the playing field by taking the big dollar items out of it, and making the guy work on it more in the shop as well as at the track to get it sharp, get sharper on the track. And it comes to was I guess you could say it doesn't matter what some guys run. If you could put wooden wheels on them and they'd still win, they'd still run up front. But it creates an opening for the younger guys that have been new to the class to try to catch up and run with the old, the more established teams. And hopefully they'll catch on, and we can have we have a small amount of cars, 10 to 12 cars, but if we're all running together, that can make things exciting.
Well, I noticed an interesting blend of drivers in this class. You've got the seasoned veterans, like guys like you and Nick, and for that matter, even TJ and Eldon. And then you've got the young guys, the guys who are in the first or second year in this division. Makes for a good mix.
Yes, and I'm all about for the younger guys to come in. I mean, I love to see that. Guys like myself, I still gotta have fun at it, and I like to mix it up with the guys. As long as I can be competitive, I guess I'll do it. But I really like to see the younger guys come in. Last year we had 4 or 5 rookies come into the division, and that really made me happy. I was real pleased with that. Because that's where the future is with the younger guys, not with guys like me.
Yeah, speaking of future, how long do you see yourself doing this?
As long as I'm competitive, I can run up front every night and maybe sneak a win in here and there and still have fun at it. Yeah, I'll do it. I still got enough equipment and desire. You'll have to say I play it by year every year. I don't want to sound like Brett Favre. Well, maybe, but I do play it by ear every year. If it depends on what's going on. I have a pretty busy business. And it takes a lot out of me sometimes. And fortunately, I have a good crew with Chuck Williams, and he gets me to the track every week. Once I'm here, I'm okay. But sometimes getting here is the tough part.
Load you up, throw you in the truck, and dump you out when you get to the track. Is that it?
It's something like that.
All right, Mike. Well, thanks for being here, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Mike Ticco, driver of the late model number 65.